Hey, what's up? I was talking to somebody about why multifamily creates so many millionaires in a cycle like this. And I was sharing this with somebody, and I want to kind of really draw this graph on the line on the board so that way I can show it to you guys. Um, the fact remains, like to me, multifamily real estate as a vehicle, as an investment vehicle, is hands down the best vehicle to invest your money in. It does a couple of things. Number one, it protects your capital. Number two, it creates passive income for you as an investor. Number three, you get the opportunity to control appreciation, which I'm going to show because I was talking about this. And then last but not least, you get the tax benefits and advantages. There's more, but those are the main things we look at. So the reason why I said that multifamily, especially right now in this cycle, is going to do what it does is because I don't think a lot of times investors really get this giant like it's a multiplier. Multifamily commercial real estate as an investment is really a giant multiplier. And that's important in a sense when I take a look at it from a perspective, and I'm going to draw this line graph. I hope you guys can, I'll make it make sense the best I can. So let's just say we have a multifamily property and this is a line. So we have a property that we bought. Let's just say we bought a $50 million deal. Let's just say $50 million, right? We paid that. That's year one. This is year two. This is year three. This is year four. This is year five. I'm going to stop it right there at five. There's a reason why, because I'm going to go over something as I get into this. So let's just say we bought it at this $50 million range. This is the property itself. But right here, that's where rents are. So let's just say we're gonna add we'll go simple. Let's just say 5% increase on the rent. So let's just say we have rents at a property and we'll just for simple math, let's just use $3,000. But let's just say we don't get any rent increase. That's a rent increase. So we buy the property, the average in-place rents on that building, a $50 million purchase on the property, whether it's a 200 unit building or 100, 250 unit building, doesn't matter. But let's just say that there. Let's say we get no rental increase in year one, right? Because we need to budget for that. We let's, hey, what if we don't get it? What if we can't do it all? And it's going to take time, right? Because 200 units, 150 units, it takes time. Let's say we get a pop in year two. So we have rents that are going up at the same time we bought this property, right? So let's say we get a 5% increase. Let's just say our 5% increase on $3,000, we already know that's $150. Let's say we only get 75 bucks in year two. So we went through year one, we're where we are, and then in year two, we started getting these increases, $75, $100, $50. We didn't do anything. We just got a great property in a great location. Then in year three, we get the same thing. So we got this bump here. Let's say we got 150 bucks. Year three, new people are moving out, new people are moving in. We're getting this new increase in another, let's say $100. So now we have increase in rents. That's going where that's going. During this time, though, this is the thing that I was talking to my buddy about. I was like, look, when you have your rental increases, let's say it was you have a value $50 million, it's a flat. All of a sudden, as you start doing this, the value of your property, this is the actual property, this is the value, and this is the rents. This is the rent line. So your rent line can actually go steadily up like this in an increase. And it isn't always going to do that. Some year it may dip a little, some year it may come down, but it's going to kind of have the same running line all the way through it. It's not going to just drop. Rents in this country have continued to go up since 1945, and they'll continue to do that, especially with the tariffs that are happening, taxes that are going on because they're lowering taxes, raising them. They just adjust, the IRS just adjusted the tax brackets. So this is going to continue to happen. Like I said, they're also continuing to print money, right? Lowering the interest rate and letting people refinance their property is another form of printing money because you can borrow more money. That money is going to get pushed out into the economy, and then values of any real assets will continue to go up, right? So that said, look at this. Now the value of the rent line is going to continue to go here. I wish I had a different color. I don't. But the value of the property is going to grow exponentially into this year five mark. So this is value, and the rents are going to continue to go here. Why? Because multifamily real estate is a multiplier. That's why people make millions. So let's just look at it like this. Let's say this deal was, I don't know, 200 units. And 200 units, let's say we were to get 5%. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just say over a 5 year period, we got five, what do we say? 5%, 5 years, 25%. So 3,000. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying let's just go with me on this one. Plus another, I don't know, 25%. That's $750 over 5 years. That's a lot. I get it. But we're also in California. We're in San Diego. So divided by five, that's $150 a year. No one's going to move out of a great property, great location. They might. You got to be treating people really good at this property. But let's just say that. So that's $750 times 12 months times 12 months. That's an increase over 5 year period. We can do that, right? That's 9,000. That's 9,000 times 200. We said that was going to be over 200, right? So 750 times 200 equals divide and times that by 12 months, right? That's $1.8 million more in income a year annualized. Divide that by a five cap. That's $36 million in new increased value. So again, this $50 million deal now is worth $86 million just in this 5 year period. Now, I know that's an assumption, and people are like, yeah, Vic, but it isn't always going to go like that. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that if you have a multifamily real estate deal in a great location in a great city where there's growth, job growth, people are paying money, paying their rent, you treat people good as a resident in your assets as an investment. You get into this deal. Now, I did 5 years. This may take 7 years. Let's say it takes 10. Does it matter? Let's say it takes $10 million. If you had a job, there's no way you can create $10 million, $36 million in your job over a 10-year period. Depending on what kind of job you're in, you work your butt off. You're going to trade your time for money. You ain't going to, no boss at any point is going to say, yeah, we'll give you a $36 million bonus in 10 years if you do this, this, and this. You couldn't work hard enough to do that. That's why multifamily real estate, that's what we said. If you pay $50 million and you drew a value line based on here, you slowly started increasing rents. And we said in year two, year one, zero. Didn't get anything. Year two, things started to spike up. Now it starts to go. You can have some ups and downs, some dips here and there. People move out, people move back in, a little bit of discrepancy, but that's going to happen. And as this continues to go up, this line goes up each inch in exponentially is the word I'm looking for, right? So why is that valuable? Is because if you're looking to get into a real estate deal, the reason why this works, number one, and I've talked about this quite a bit. I was talking to my buddy about it. I was showing him some of the deals that we're working on. And the number one thing you're going to be looking for in real estate, here's what you need. You need a deal. This really is the number one most important thing in real estate to be able to make that chart work. So if you want to have exponential growth based on gradual rent increases over time, the deal is going to be the most important thing. You can't do that on a bad deal. You have to have the great location, a great asset with great people around it, great management teams, great operators, all of that stuff. That's what we look at when we look at a deal. Like me and my son took a look at two properties today. We walked some properties that were out there. There was a deal that we looked at a while back. I love the location. And I was asking him like, what do you see here? Look at what the last guy that bought the last group that bought it was a group, right? What did they do? Do we think they can justify our assumptions? Because we didn't move on the deal. It was a bad time. It was during COVID, but it was the deal that we saw traded and we went back. That's the nice part about the deal. They don't go anywhere. But my son said it too. He's like, hey, the location is great. And I was like, do you think like you'd pay an extra $150 to live here? And he's like, oh yeah, 1,000%. So you have to know that. And if you're willing to pay that, then somebody else will too. And then what is it that you're going to do for your residents and things like that? Your management company is going to do to justify that increase. Treat people good, stand up when people come in, answer their phone calls, be there for them, handle any things. If somebody new is coming in to lease, treat them like they have $1 million because those residents are the people that are going to be paying. They're your customers inside of a real estate deal. So number one is the deal. Number two, which goes right back to it, is the debt. So this is your number one partner because the partner, your debt partner, whether it's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, life insurance company, a debt fund, a bank, a regional bank, whatever, whoever your debt partner, the lender is on that deal, they're going to probably give you somewhere between 60 to 70%. If you're in California right now, it's at 50%, right? Of the loan to LTV, right? So on that $50 million deal, let's say on that $50 million deal, that lender is probably going to give you 30 million. You're going to have to come up with the other $20 million, which brings me to the next piece is the equity. That's your investors, right? For us, that's our investors at Bell Capital. That would be somebody like yourself who want to invest passively. You're a limited partner in the deal. We'd be the general partners, but this is your equity. So if you're doing this yourself, you're going to need equity partners. They are going to be responsible for the other, let's say 40% of your deal, 35 to 40%. Now, the reason why I brought this up as it relates to on our chart being 5 years is because your debt typically runs 1 to 5 years. That's either, well, debt usually runs 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years. So usually when we're looking at a deal, we're always underwriting, hey, what if we got in it and we got 5 year debt? This matters because let's say your interest rate is going to be 5 years, or it's going to be interest only for 5 years, and then it's going to move to adjusted, right? So it can, some people got caught with their pants down because they had a 3 year interest rate, interest only, and then, or it was an adjustable, or it was a floating rate, and it floated up to where it is today, which now it's back down. It's like 5.25, 5%, maybe sub five, maybe like 4.89, 4.9 or something. If you do a rate buy down, meaning like you pay a point and a quarter towards the 5%, and then they'll drop it to four and some change. Like that's a creative way to get your debt down, and they're offering that now, but that's not typical. Typically, you just want a good enough deal for them to say, look, we'll give you 5 years interest only at 4.75%. That day is coming, but as a real matter of fact, I think the 3.75 to 4%, four and a quarter is going to come back because historically that's commercial debt. That's commercial financing. Anyways, I bring that up to say this is important because you know if you have a 5 year timeline to get the rents to continue to increase, and you know you're going to be able to do that, you're now going to go back to the lender and say, look, I want to take a look at my financing and I'm thinking about refinance, which is our strategy. Go back to our lender and refinance. Say, hey guys, look, we've raised it, we've increased the income of the property. The new value is now 86 million, not 50 million. Would you guys recapitalize or refinance the property and take out the old loan of $30 million and then bring this new loan up to, and let's just say, dream with me here, 86 million times, let's say 60%, and give me a new loan for 51 million, right? So that, and so they would take out the 30 minus 30 million. We're just using round math. That would leave $21 million left over, which would get distributed back to our investors. 21.6 million back to us. That, oh, by the way, that's a non-taxable event. So they would take out the $30 million loan. We would have a new loan for $50 million, but that additional money would be $21 million, which would all go back to our investors, and that will go back to them not as a non-taxable event, which is why that's important because when we talk about the equity, we need to know like, hey, what is the returns that we're looking for to be able to offer our investors? So number one thing, the deal is most important to be able to hit that chart. 5 years. This is that we know there's a giant discrepancy. The more we were able to increase the income and the rents on the property, the more the value of the property is going to grow exponentially. And then we go back to our debt partners, our number one partner in the deal, and go, look, you guys gave us 60% on a loan. Would you guys do another 60% on the loan because we've done a good job? We've increased the value of the property based on the income. And would you allow us to get some of that money back out, which now we're getting advance on the equity or advance on the cash flow we got. And then I would take that back, or you would take that back, give that back to your investors, and you would replenish a portion of their 35, 40%. And in that situation, let's say we did this whole $50 million deal. We would have borrowed what, $20 million on the deal. They would have got all of that money back, zero taxes. And I think there was like $1 million left over, which me and my partners would have carved up because I don't make money unless I make you guys money. But that's how this deal would work. And I brought this up because when you understand that the how people play this game, how why multifamily real estate as an investment vehicle can multiply your money so quickly just by doing the very simple thing. Look at this line. We just barely just trugging right along, increasing rents where we're able to. We're not looking to stomp people out, but we are looking to constantly increase the value of our asset, which is an investment. That's our responsibility or my job as a business owner as the general partner in the fund to make sure that we increase the value of our investments. So we take care of our investors. So as this rental increase goes up, the value continues to go up. And once this value hits the timeline that we've set aside in our debt, now on a 5 year debt, let's say my debt was 7 years or 10. Come around 6 years or so, within that seventh year, I'm gonna start doing the transition. Hey guys, I start floating and I start dating the debt partner again. Hey, here's what's going on. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And start romancing them, showing them what we've done. Start doing this so we can start pulling out, talk to them about pulling out this 21 million. So that's how that's how this game is played. Find the right deal, get the right debt, get the right equity partners, have a plan. What's your plan? Very simply, increase the rents 3%, 5%. Rents have increased 8 or 9% a year since 1945, and sometimes higher through COVID, after COVID, before COVID. Like right now, what's getting ready to happen, just like all things, there's going to be a glut of inventory. It's going to get absorbed. And then in 26, end of 26, 27, a bunch of property is going to come on the market because they're going to start building again. All of that's going to get absorbed and rents are going to skyrocket through 27, 28, and 29. So this is the plan. Buy here, right here, rents will go up. Then all of a sudden they're going to explode. And all of a sudden the values of your property are going to explode. Boom, you refinance, take your capital out. And the benefit of refinancing, taking your equity out and redistributing it back to our investors or your investors is you actually keep the real estate and you reset this clock again by continuing to go on. So you have almost no money in the deal or no money in the deal. You got an asset that has good debt on it, cash flowing, still going back to you and your investors. And we're still going to continue to increase the rents. This doesn't stop just because we got our money out, right? That's how that works. So that's why multifamily is one of the best vehicles to do this because you get to multiply millions. That's 21 million. This, you bought a property for 50 million, 50 million, and turned it into 86 million and you pulled out 21 million paying with zero tax liability to you and your investors as long as you keep that asset. Like that is massive. So when you put the pin to that for yourself as an investor, people are like, oh, I got to get this crazy return. Like, look, real estate is, I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, but I'm going to say it's a better guarantee than what's going on in the stock market. Whereas every time you look at CNBC, Trump says he's going to go after China, the stock market plummets. Trump says we're going to ease it off. The stock market goes up. Nvidia says we have chips and we're doing this now with Google, or and then all of a sudden it skyrockets. Elon Musk is on Joe Rogan smoking weed, and the Tesla stocks dump. Like there's not none of that's happening with real estate. The only thing that's going to continue to happen with real estate is that the stability of rentals in this country, a house is a good investment is dead. Those days are gone. A house is not a good investment. It is plants you in one spot. You're always going to have that. There's a bunch of expenses. There's things that go on with it if you are on the come up. But if you're an investor and you want passive income, multifamily real estate is going to be your best bet to me. And I'm going to continue to fight for that, continue to fight for you. So get a invest in a great asset in a great location that's going to protect your capital, give you cash flow, control depreciation, which is what I was showing you. Increasing the rent is control depreciation. The value is going up based on that, and you get the tax benefits. And oh, by the way, you get the leverage of that. Every $1 you invest is worth $3 in a real estate deal. $1 million is worth 3 million. 500,000 is worth $1.5 million position in a deal. That's better. You can't do that with stock. You buy $1 million worth of stock. Your stock is worth $1 million the day you buy it. It's not worth more because there's no leverage there. So, anyways, I get super passionate about that. I wanted to share that with you guys on this video because I was talking to my buddy about it. A lot less winded. But remember that chart. It's important. Just get your mind wrapped around it, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the best investments you do, whether you do it with us or you do it with somebody else or you do it on your own. Doesn't matter. You owe it to your family to get your money invested and working as hard for you as you do for it as an investor. All right. So if you want my help, go to bell-capital.com. You can do two things there. You can schedule a call or you can hit invest now or get started and you can take a look at our open fund, do your due diligence on the documents. And I still suggest that you call and you talk to one of us. We're here for you. We're here to help answer any questions you have. Could you invest through your IRA? Could you self-direct do a 401k? If it qualifies, could you do that? How long is it? What are the terms? What are the fees? How can you get started? All of the things we're here for you to help you. We want to make your job very easy to be invested with anybody, with us for sure. That's my job. It's my team's job. That's what we're set out to do. So let me know if you need anything. Like this video, share the video, comment on the video, give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. Don't be a hater and a hider at the same time. Either way, man, I want you talking about it. All right, so I'm here to help. Let us know if you need anything. Let's get after it. Boom.